He's never fought us. Not us united.
My favorite moment in the entire... Maybe I should complicate this before I start speaking here.
Hey guys, welcome to Comics League Indie Wednesday. I'm Jared, and today we are talking about a book that's actually really close to this channel. It's Vinelord with art by Dawson Wiedrich. You may wonder, who is that? Well, he's been on the channel a few times, and he's also the artist for Thunder Princess, the comic that I'm writing. The title's pending. But reason why I wanted to review this one. So, as you guys know, I'm writing the comic book, Thunder Princess, and what I wanted to do is get all of Dawson's comics, because first off, I trust him in terms of quality, and second off, if I know what his art form looks like in a comic book page, it's easier for me to write the script, so I can modify my writing so it's better able to be translated to him. So. So what is Vinelord? So think of Vinelord as this sort of high concept fantasy superhero all put into one. So essentially the Vinelord is this immortal superhero engaged in this endless battle against these demonic forces. So imagine it kind of like Swamp Thing, except in this case, for the most part, the Vinelord identity, if you will, is transferred from one being to the next. In other words, throughout someone's existence, they become a Vinelord. In other words, I can become a Vinelord, though when it's time for me to die, I pass on the power to the next person. And issue 1 basically establishes the war. Issue 2, issue 1 also establishes the main character, and his name is Tristan. And issue 1 and most of issue 2 take place in the 1800s on a plantation, and Tristan and his brother picking cotton, and they're talking about their abusive father. So basically, they come from an abusive home, and it's nuts. So at that time, so Tristan essentially goes for a walk and stumbles upon the essentially Swamp Thing. And actually, no, he takes his brother fishing, and then the father gets upset because they were not working in the fields. He runs, and then he is knocked out, and then comes to, and he's being talked to by this dude whose face is in a tree, and it's essentially the Vinelord. And issue 2 has Tristan finally accepting his identity as the Vinelord. And then throughout this whole adventure, it keeps interspersing to the modern day of this tenet that's being attacked again by these demonic forces. And then you have the Vinelord actually fight him. And what's cool about this book is that it's no holds barred, it's bloody, gory. And that's why I love it. There's this great image of the Vinelord holding his fist out and then opening it, and then a wood sword comes out, and he just cuts off this demon's head, and it's so badass. Then they have this epic fight over the city, and it basically is reminiscent of Man of Steel. Vinelord wins, and then back in the 1800s, we see Tristan is being convinced by the previous Vinelord that he has to take over this role. And the way they do that is the Vinelord basically tells me, hey, listen, don't you want to do more with your life? Don't you want to be able to help people? And then he goes, all right, fine. And then he becomes the Vinelord. And that's where issue 2 ends. That was a very brief overview of the story, because I'm really here to talk about the book in general, which I like it. It's very much like the Swamp Thing show, or like Swamp Thing in general. And it's very much like a lot of high fantasy that I see, in that in that it takes place in 2 different time periods. And what I like, particularly about the art, is that the art communicates the dark tone and also communicates essentially first off, it's easy to follow. That's the key thing. And also really the art essentially, because there's no like comics code, it allows it to essentially, I mean, Dawson like expertly portrays the brutal nature of the story, and that's partly why I think this book is successful and it looks great. There's blood splatters, there's people whose heads are being chopped off, and really, what's interesting, particularly for me, because this art style is very much in line with what I need for the type of story I'm reading, because it's gritty, it's dark, it's heavy shading, it looks really, really killer. And I'm interested to see what Volume 3 is going to do, because I believe he should be coming out with Volume 3 soon. And then he's doing also currently his other series, Savage, which I also have, which will be reviewed next week on Indie Wednesday. Issue 3 comes out actually really soon. So I'll be sure to drop the information for that in here as soon as possible. So that's my review of Vinelord. I give it a 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5, whatever, out of whatever. It's a very interesting concept. It's a very good book. You guys should check it out. If you guys are fans of Swamp Thing or like sort of superhero-ish horror, then 100% this is the book for you. And if you like brutal stories about ancient wars, essentially, I would go with this book. So, that note, by Dawson, excellent work on the art. Excellent. On that note, I will see you guys in the next Indie Wednesday. Stay work, everyone. Bye-bye.